Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap session for Monday, April the 23rd, 2018. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses for the day. Our hypotheses are our trade plans. We do not know what the market's going to do. Therefore, we have alternative hypos or plans or scenarios, whatever you want to call it. And basically, we have two main scenarios where the buyers or sellers take control in a normal range day. And then we have two alternative hypos or scenarios where we get range expansion and a trend type scenario. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website, there's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. We do everything live here in the go-to, and then we do live trading during the normal trading day. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. So taking a look at Friday, our main hypothesis was a open auction, a push up into testing the value area high and the range high, then finding responsive sellers, rotating us down through value, chopping between the value area low and the prior day low, and then pushing down to test the year open, and then finding a base down there and rotating up. Hypo 3 was a take back day, failure to take out the overnight high, come down, test the range low from the prior day, break, push down into the year open, chop in that area, and then get continuation down into the former microcomposite VPOC at the 57.25. Didn't quite get down to the microcomposite. We missed it by a couple points, but I consider this to be more hypo 3 than hypo 2. Once we got below and failed at the prior day range low back inside, I consider it to switch over into my hypo 3. Taking a look at the economic calendar today, we've got 56 minutes. We've got U.S. manufacturing PMI, market composite, services PMI. Then at 10 o'clock, we've got existing home sales. We've got ECB speaker at 10 o'clock as well. 11:30, we've got 3-month and 6-month bill auction. We've got Bank of Canada, Lowe's speaking at 3:30, and that's about it for the day. Just taking a quick look at the calendar for the week. Tuesday, we have the big one will be the CB, consumer confidence and new home sales at 10 o'clock. Wednesday, really not a lot of news except for crude oil inventories at 10:30. Thursday, we've got core durable goods and durable goods at 8:30, and initial jobless claims. And then that's pretty much it for Thursday. Then on Friday, we've got GDP at 8:30. We've got Bank of England, Carney speaking at 10. Chicago PMI at 9:45, and then Michigan consumer sentiment and expectations. So fairly light news week, but what we have is a huge week on earnings. So just going over to the earnings. This morning we had Halliburton, Alaskan Air. We've got tonight, we've got Google coming out. TD Ameritrade, Whirlpool, Barrick Gold. So some big ones tonight. Tomorrow, got Caterpillar, Lockheed. Is that sorted properly? Just let me sort these through by popularity. Caterpillar, Lockheed tomorrow, Freeport. Just seeing if there's any really big ones. I think it's Wednesday that we get most of the big ones. Boeing, Twitter, Sirius, and then looking at Thursday. Got ExxonMobil, Chevron, Dominion Energy, Rockwell. I thought we had some bigger names coming up on this week. I thought there was some bigger names. I'll have to take a little bit closer look at this. I really didn't take a real close look. Taking a look at the consumer commitment of commitment of traders. I can't speak today. You can see that both the retail and the spec are still net positive, although the retail has gotten bigger again. But the commercial paper, they've basically left the building and they continue to get more net short. We're waiting to see when this large spec flips to net negative, and that's going to be our first real positive sign that we could see a major shift in the trend up. Taking a look at the macro to micro. I always like to start my day looking at a simple candlestick chart and starting on a monthly and working my way down to intraday. Basically, I use a 9 EMA, 20 SMA. What I'm looking at is I'm looking at the strength of the trend. I don't use moving averages to trade, but I use them to give me an idea of where we are in terms of the trend. Do we have good slope and separation? Is price paralleling the 9 nicely? Or are we coming down or above and challenging the 9? Or are we getting a possible trend change with a challenge or a break of the 20? You can see on the monthly, we had 14 months of one time framing up. February challenged it. March took it back. And so far in April, we're holding above the 9. The trend continues to hold to the upside. Going to the weekly, it looked like we were starting to get a trend change down. Then last week, we went up and challenged the 9 EMA, looking like that we were going to take back the trend. But so far, we closed the week below the 9 and the 20, and we're having a hard time getting back above the 20 right now. And basically, this is sitting right on top of the year open at 26.75.75. Going to the daily, you can see that we were starting to see possible continuation of the trend up, but Friday was a little bit weak. Right now, again, we're just above the 9 and the 20, and sitting on top of the just above the year open at 26.75.75. Want to watch that level today, and then if we get below this 49, I'm actually looking at the 40. We could see the possible trend change. Going to the intraday 4-hour, you can see we're still holding this downward trend that we saw starting on Thursday and Friday, and so far we're getting slope and separation to the downside, and waiting to see if we get above the 26.80. I'm looking at 81.50 as my over underline. I'll show you why in just a couple minutes. And then last but not least, just going down to the 30-minute, you can see we are back above the 9 and the 20. The week open is 26.83. So that's going to be a key level for us to watch as well. But I think the first clue is going to be above that 81. So let's take a look at the macro and structure. So I have this this profile that I've drawn from the breakdown day from the last time we tried to hold value up here, right here at the microcomposite VPOC above at 2632. And then we gapped down and we had this big move down. So I've drawn a profile from the breakdown day, which was February the 2nd through till today. That microcomposite VPOC, or the balance, or the most traded price there, is the 57.25. We broke out of this profile down here and went up to that 18, and then the seller stepped in at that 18 where we were expecting them to step in at that level and hold us down. The value area high is all the way up at 30.75. Value area low is down at 26.02. It's quite a big value area, and we're just chopping inside of it. Currently, right now, the 2-day microcomposite is a double distribution with the LVN right around the 26.8150. That's a key area for me. It's also the range low from Thursday. That's why it's going to be my over underline. Below it, I'm looking for a move back down into the 68.50 and down here to this 57.25 microcomposite VPOC. If we can get above it, then I'm looking for continuation up into the 2-day microcomposite up at the 87.25 and possibly get continuation to test that 2700 level again, and the 2-day microcomposite from Wednesday and Tuesday, which is up here at the 27.05 which was that gap zone that we filled in those 2 days. Taking a look at the overnight inventory. Overnight, we opened in the upper distribution from Friday. They came down, to the microcomposite VPOC, pushed down to the other side of this balance down here in the 66.50 area. This is a weak low. There is a lot of volume put off down here. Our VPOC was down there most of the time. It's shifted back up here now with the European session, and we're getting basically a double distribution. Very boxy looking profile, and I'm expecting some wide rotations this morning coming into the RTH session. Overnight high 84.75, overnight low 66.50. This is a weak low, so if we come down here and break it, the target is going to be down here at the microcomposite VPOC and its naked close at 57.25. So taking our levels, moving them over. I already have the overnight high down here. The overnight low is 66.50. We held inside so far of the Friday session. We had this 81.50. This is going to be my over underline. Key line in the sand above is going to be that 27.0350, which was our over underline on Friday. And key line in the sand below doesn't change. It's going to be down here at that 26.40. Our daily full session average true range 20 period is running still at 51.10, although the ranges are dropping off, so that should shrink. But based on the overnight high, our downside daily ATR is down at 33.50. Based on our overnight low, our upside daily ATR is up here at the 17.50. So what are our hypotheses? We're going to be opening up just inside of, or just outside of range, value. We could get, below that, but we are opening just above the year open. Our week open is the 83. And our IB from Friday is 83.25. Our overnight high is 84.75. So I'm looking for a open auction in range, possibly in value, but just above value. I'm looking for a rotation up into this 83 to 84 area. And somewhere in this area, I'm looking for responsive sellers to step in, rotate us down into the primary target, which is down here at 71.50. Chop around here, push through value down into the 62.25, and then somewhere between 62.25 and 57.50, I'm looking for a basing pattern and a rotation back up and a close somewhere in here in the low to mid 70s. That is my hypo 1. Hypo 2 is an open auction, just out of value, in range, a move down to the overnight low, take out the overnight low, test the value area low, push through to the microcomposite VPOC, and then get a probe down lower, and somewhere between the 57 and the 50 area, I'm looking for them to find buyers, rotate us back up through into testing the week open, and then push up into the 27.03, and then failing and coming back and closing somewhere around the mid 80s. That is hypo 2. Hypo 3 is a breakdown day, open auction, failure to take out the overnight high, immediately fall down to the range low from Friday, chop in this area, and then break lower and come down into this 40 area, testing the key line in the sand, and possibly push down to test the month open and the daily ATR downside target down here at 33.50 to 35 area, then basing and rotating ourselves back up and closing somewhere in the mid 40s. That is hypo 3. Hypo 4 is a continuation of the move up and a open auction, in range, in value, failure to take out the overnight low. I'm looking for buyers to step in, probably an open test drive down to the naked VPOC at 70.50, close the gap, and then strong buying step in and rotate us up through to the 92 to 94 area, chop in this area, and then push up into the 27.03, break above, and come up into this 18 area that we failed from last week. So those are my 4 main hypotheses. The 5th hypothesis is we basically get stuck inside of this distribution zone right here between the 81.50 and the 59.75, and basically have a tight inside day. That's unlikely with the range that we've got going right now. We do have a zipper measured move. Now just keep in mind that these zipper measured moves going into the RTH session aren't as reliable as the ones that happen inside of the RTH, but this is giving us a target of the 85, and one of the reasons why I'm looking for that rotation up first and then finding sellers and rotating us down into that 71.50 and hypo 1. Taking a quick look at gold. Gold has come down, and why is my let me go just put a profile here. Oops. The overall microcomposite VPOC is right here at the 1329. We were unable to get the continuation up. We did not hold that 1335 area, so I'm looking for this to continue down and push down into this 1319.90, and I think it's going to chop around between the value area low here at 22 down to the 19. If we do break the 19, okay, then I think we see our next leg down, and that leg down main target is going to be down here in the 1290.80, which is the most traded price going all the way back to October of 2008, or a composite VPOC. If we bounce here in the 27 area and we come up into the 34, a break above the 34 takes us up into the 37.60. I don't think we're going to get much more extension to the upside, possibly up to the 41, but right now gold is looking pretty weak in the last 3 days, and I'm looking for them to push it a little bit further down into this 19. That's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.